Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Actors Endurance, your number one podcast for the resilient artist. I'm your host, Shanette Wilson.
And I am Marlon Hargrave, the great Marlon Hargrave.
Hey, what?
And this is the number one podcast for the resilient artist.
Yes, and we're always dropping gems for y'all, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always showing love and support. And in today's episode, what are we going to be talking about, Marlon?
We're going to be talking about how to avoid negativity.
Yes, I'm sure everybody deals with it on a daily basis, whether it's your thoughts, your family, your friends. We're going to give you some tips on how to avoid that. You're listening to Actors Endurance, a podcast that inspires actors to never give up on their passion and find ways to continue to grow within the entertainment industry. My name is Shanette Wilson, and I'm an actress, and my co-host is Marlon Hargrave, and he is a teaching artist. And together, we are Actors Endurance. All right. So, what do you got for today, Marlon? I'm thinking, I don't know, when I think about negativity and negative people, I'm just thinking, like Janet Jackson said, control. Never gonna stop. Control. You want to control your environment. You want to control your thoughts. You want to control your whatever you can, actually. Yeah. So I think, like, as far as controlling your environment, you want to be mindful of the people and the energy that they bring to you. So if you're around a lot of negative people, or say you living in a house with a whole bunch of negative people, your family's negative, but you're gonna have to do some real serious work on yourself and do what you can to step away from that. You know, create a lot of space, protect your energy. I don't know. What do you think about that, Marlon? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. We all deal with it.
But it is. And I think that we could look at changing. Sometimes you may have to make a tough decision and change your inner circle. You may have to do that. Sometimes it comes along with it. Or you may have to deal with people in seasons. Sometimes you can't deal with people all the time. So you do have to protect your energy. But if you happen, so as actors, we live in households where we don't know people sometimes, you know. Yes. Oftentimes we are consolidating, or you may go and be in a shared space.
Yeah, you got roommates, room shares.
Yes, very, very common, especially if you're bi-coastal, or if you're going from city to city. Sometimes these kind of things can happen. So my suggestion is get yourself a good pair of headphones.
Whoa.
Go somewhere and figure out, if you can't change your environment right now, figure out where you can be within yourself. Mm-hmm. And, you know, be able to block the noise out, because at the end of the day, the business doesn't stop because you have a bump in the road. So you just need to figure out where your bumps are and take care of them. You may not be able to avoid a situation with living with people. So definitely want to take care of your energy on that.
Yeah, but you can control the conversations that you have in your interactions with these people. So if you can't get away from them physically and you're still in the same space, you control how you respond. You control what you choose to even give your energy to. So, you know, if you're having a conversation and someone's just always negative, well, you just choose not to engage. You know, you can tune it out. You can change the subject. Or tell the person, hey, you know, as much as you want to talk about this, I'm sorry, I have other things to do. I cannot engage. You love you, but I got to go. You know, remove yourself. And like you said, headphones, drown it out, or you go into your little happy, peaceful place, you know, and you just...
And mind your mind. I like what you said on that, because, you know, you could, so if you like politics and things like that, you have to give yourself a break off the politics, the news, and all of who hit who and all of that. Okay. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still negative. Exactly. You know, I don't watch the news that much, or I'm very limited because of the way the news makes me feel. It's like I'm always upset, and I can't be creative if I'm upset. You know, that's too much of a block for me. So and probably for most other people, these kind of things can cause a block to creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So just get rid of them. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. If your spirit says no, like listen to your spirit, right?
Yes.
If your spirit says, I'm not feeling this, it's not feeling it, and you are not going to be successful. So definitely understand your body, listen to your spirit, and anything that makes you feel uneasy, it's just not for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And always remember, a nice short or long walk will do you well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else we got for the people?
I would say now, as an actor, you have to learn how to not dwell on rejection. Okay, it's gonna happen. It's part of the business. You're not gonna be fly all the time. You're not gonna get all the roles. You're gonna have your ups and downs, and you can't dwell on it. Do not dwell on auditions, either side of it. And that's hard for a lot of actors. It's hard for me too. But let me tell you, don't give into the sensation of trying to figure out why you got the audition or why you didn't get the audition. Even if you do a terrific job, you just may not be right for what they're looking for. So you can't say, well, I didn't get an audition for so long and now I'm kind of depressed. I remember when you had a little stint where you weren't getting auditions, and Shanette just said, okay, I'm going to change something, and she started to just take another approach, as opposed to saying, hey, I don't want to do it no more because they didn't call me. And then she started booking roles left and right. It was like Monster made for her, so you keep going in that, and she kept a positive attitude throughout it all. Mm-hmm. Never heard her complain about anything. She just said, I need to switch gears. So figure out what that means to you.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm able to do that is just because I like to choose and control my own energy, so I've done a lot of work on myself. All the tips that I'm giving you, things that I'm doing personally, and I definitely one of the things that I've done and I'm still doing is retraining my brain, and mostly just thinking about only the things that I want. You have between it's scientifically you have between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. Between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are negative. 95% of them are repetitive. So 95% of the thoughts that you have today, you had yesterday, you had the day before yesterday, you had the day before yesterday. 95% of those, and out of all your thoughts, 80% are typically negative, unless you have taken control of your mind and chose to think more positively than negatively, and created patterns and ways to get rid of the negative thoughts or just to switch them. Because a lot of times you can't control what thoughts you have, but you can control how you choose to manage them or how long you choose to stay on them. So you could just be like, typical, I'm not getting any auditions. Now that spirals into a whole bunch of, I'm not getting auditions. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with this? And why don't this? And everything negative. Next thing you know, 2 hours later or 3 days later, you're still having the same thought pattern. Versus, I'm not getting auditions. Okay, you stop it right there. Stop the negative thought. And then you think of, okay, what can I be doing now that is going to benefit me for the future? What are some other things that I can add to my brand? Who else can I reach out to? So you focus more on the things that you want versus the things that you either don't want or aren't going to serve you in any way. So that's one of the things that I do on a constant, everyday basis. And I suggest you try it too, definitely. A lot of YouTube videos on that. Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, my favorites. Check them out.
Actually, I fell asleep to Outwitting the Devil.
Oh, great book.
Yeah,
great book.
Of course, it was on my favorite part of the Drifter.
Yes.
So that's been analyzed plenty of times. But the conversation itself, if you haven't read it or listened to it, it's a very, very interesting book. And the devil was basically the negative thoughts in your mind. That's all the devil is.
Yes.
In that book, let me put it down. I don't want to get in trouble with nobody.
Time out, people.
In that book, right?
But if you want to come for us, I'm with the foolishness. So bring it on. Let's make it interesting around here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, affirmations and spinning off of that, affirmations are great. You can make your own affirmations. I am great. I say it all the time. I am great. I've watched affirmations work. Puffy said, "Can't stop, won't stop." The dude is 20 plus years in the game.
Yes.
No limits. Master P is a habitual entrepreneur.
Master P the GOAT. Master P the GOAT. I wish people would talk more about
that's
him.
Right.
You know?
Jay-Z says, I will not lose. And the dude is a billionaire. So these daily affirmations work. So I am great, and I'm calling myself great. And I've watched people, and they're not the only ones who have daily affirmations. If you don't have some of your own, then you can go online. You can listen to people like Abraham Hicks.
Yes, I love her. Yeah, Abraham.
Abraham Hicks, and there's so many people out there.
So many.
So you can find common music. You know,
music is good too. And then something that Marlon has suggested that I do, which man, this works. Something simple: pen, paper, write it down. It'll come way faster.
Yes.
So, you should always have what do you say, Marlon? You should always have a journal. You should always be writing things down. You should always take notes. So whatever you want, definitely write it down. Your affirmations, whatever you're doing to retrain your brain to keep you on that positive path, definitely write it down. Have a little index card, a little note card. You know, I'm all about, don't speak about it, be about it. This my phone, y'all. In this little pouch, what do I got? I keep my card with me.
There you go.
At all times. Yeah.
There you go.
What does it say? Large sums of money come to me easily and frequently.
There you go.
Yes, they do. Okay, that's all I'm giving y'all. Y'all don't need to know all of my daggone, you don't need to know everything I'm doing, but just a little bit. It's a little snippet.
Yeah. And even on that, have faith in yourself. That's something that I feel like if you have faith in yourself, and we had something on confidence or how to be confident, but having faith in yourself and just saying, okay, it may be a little slow right now, but I know I'm going to bounce back, or I know I'm going to get at this audition. I've trained plenty of people, and all of a sudden they're on TV like, oh yeah, I don't even remember when I wasn't getting auditions. Happens all the time, right?
Yeah, of course, because you have to be your biggest fan, your biggest believer, your biggest cheerleader. You have to be. The best thing you can do is tune out the entire world, and you just focus on you and what you want, because that's all that matters. We are all the same. Everybody you see on TV or that's billionaires, and guess where they all started? Same place we started. So yeah, no one is better than or less than or worse than or great. We're all the same. It's all about what you do with it. Everything's a choice, in my opinion.
But, it is. And speaking of which, choice is our greatest gift from God, and it's the greatest. It's the opposite of it. It's the greatest detriment. That's what I'm looking at.
Sure.
So it's the greatest gift from God, but it's the greatest detriment as well, because the choices that you make will dictate how your life comes out.
Yes.
And God has given us a choice. So the best thing to do is choose to be happy, choose to not be negative, and you will see positive results.
Oh, for sure.
So,
and we're going to give you a few more, because, we're here for a good time, not a long time. Okay, so we got a couple. Wait, what you wait a minute.
Boom!
Oh,
I think we're coming in with the item of the day. This is the acting tip of the moment.
Oh, y'all wasn't ready. Y'all wasn't even ready.
That was like that.
But I'm
bam, here's my card.
Yeah. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Little younger.
Boom,
right. Y'all know nothing about that.
They don't know nothing about that.
Shout out to Living Color in the Bands for that one,
right?
for
real. Love that.
All right. Our item of the day is audition failure. So most of the time, well, from my experience of auditioning and failures in audition, is faulty script analysis.
Ooh.
I would suggest
Faulty script analysis.
Faulty.
Who's not doing their homework? Come on, y'all.
Got to practice at
Come
home.
on, y'all.
Not only that, you have to practice the differences between a Zoom audition, the self-taped audition, and when you go back to doing live auditions. They're all different, you know.
And they're coming back.
Oh, they're coming back.
They're coming back.
Yes.
I'm looking at the breakdowns on Actors Access. They said the first one is a self-tape. The second one is going to be in person. That's
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
So slowly, but go ahead, Mom. Go ahead. Slowly coming back.
You have to realize that, and I'll go back to script analysis, the faulty script analysis. In my opinion, you should go out and get Michael Shurtleff's audition, get the book, and kind of understand the language. You know, you may have to get through it, but understand that you are doing a script analysis for a scene, and he gives you 12. So Ivana has 12, he has 12. But these are 12 steps. You answer those questions, you're going to be a little better any old way. I ask more questions. I actually go into Uta Hagen. I do Michael Shurtleff. I do Ivana. I'll do
like
Stanislavski.
100 questions, y'all.
Yeah, I had like
100 questions. I'm like, hey, Mom, like how much work you? Whatever.
Put a lot
no
into
complaints.
it.
No complaints.
If you miss details, you won't get the audition, you know?
So true.
I'm
true.
And you look much better. When you walk into an audition and you know what you're doing, you have your script marked up, they'll know. They'll know the difference. And it's letting them know that you're trained without having to say, hey, I'm trained, or looking at a resume, which may not reflect that.
Yes.
So
you'll pick up on the subtleties of, you know, what's really going on in the script and who the characters are.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Huge. So, y'all, there goes your Atom, your ATOM.
Right, yeah, just blew it up in here. All right.
Tip of the moment,
Acting
right?
tip of the moment.
Okay,
yeah, I was trying to clear smoke.
Okay, I was like, what is going on?
Acting tip of the moment here. So, yes, that's what the Atom is, and it's a brand new segment, so we're bringing it back every week.
Oh, yes. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. And before we go, I'm leaving with this wonderful quote. Now, this is actually an African proverb. This is one of my favorites. And I live by this. Whenever someone tries to trigger me because I'm a little hot firecracker, I can be sometimes. But, you know, I choose to be sweet. So this right here, African proverb, because, you know, the show is all about negativity and, you know, how to, you know, keep that away from you, stay in a positive light, positive mindset, and focus on what you want. So this African proverb says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. I don't know why I like to stutter and jack up my lines every time I'm telling y'all the quote. One day y'all gonna get it together. But anyway, this African proverb, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm.
Wow.
Let that marinate with you.
Wow.
So the next time somebody come for you, just remember, I always ask myself, if this was the last day of my life, would I really care about it?
Right.
And the answer is always like, nope. So
if you had 24 hours to live,
just think, what would you? Okay,
yeah.
I got you. That's why.
Oh, would you? Yeah. Oh, wow. I can't do none of it. All right. Shout out to the Locks, D Block, X. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to y'all.
All right, y'all. We gotta go.
All right. Check us out on all platforms under Actors Endurance, and check out the website. We have merch, guys, specifically for the performing artists, for the resilient artists just like you. And if you know one, buy them a gift.
That part. All right, y'all. Actors Endurance. We up out of here.